If earth peace is to herald the dawn of the new age, realize that
Humanity is one's only religion, breath one's only prayer, and consciousness one's only God. Yoga is an inner ascent through ever more refined and ever more expanded spheres of consciousness to get to the God essence which lies at the core of your own being. And once you can contact this divine indweller, you can contact the universal indweller. Next question. Yes.
I'm confused about your statement that the mark of a master are these three, the Shivapat, the Pranapat, and the third one, whatever that was. Because you're the only master I know of that where that's discussed. So clearly there are other masters, but I haven't heard that language about the three marks of the masters. So could you clarify that?
Well, then there must be world teachers, great people who you've been to. There must be world teachers or saintly people, good people, spiritual people, you know.
I've never even heard that language in any other place, in any book.
I've heard it, Shaktipat in Swami Muktanand's teachings. I've heard it in this Anandima of Napa Valley's teachings. I've heard it in Yogi Bhajan's teachings. The Guru Path is definitely there. Shakti Path is definitely there. You have heard of Kundalini and Shakti Path. It's so commonly thrown around, this word. Every second person is a Kundalini teacher. Yeah. I mean, that's the most heard of word in America. I hear it more in America than I hear it in India. It's true. The Shiva Path is not heard. The Shiva Path is by the grace and blessings of Babaji. I've got the twilight state between samadhi and meditation. Meditation and conscious ecstasy. There's a stage which is a window to the conscious ecstasy. And that is the window I give, which I have called Shiva Path, which is not given by anybody else.
But that would imply that there are no other masters, because you said the mark of a master is having those three things.
But they do that in the Himalayas, in the land of the Hamsas. There are many people who give the states of Shiva Path. I have put it as a benchmark, as a denomination for people in America, because they constantly, they harangue you, they harass you, that give us a benchmark of our spiritual progress, or give us some benchmarks of what the Guru is like. So, if I am the only person speaking of it, it stands to reason that I am the originator of these words and these techniques. Does it not? It's not a common spoken thing, okay? Nobody spoke of relativity before Einstein, or nobody, rather to be more specific, nobody spoke of the general theory of relativity before Einstein came on the scene, right? Because it wasn't discovered. So nobody spoke of not that I'm trying to compare myself with those great people, not at all. I'm just what I am. But nobody had ever spoken of or heard of Shiva Path until Guru Nath came upon the scene. Aye?
Aye.
Does that explain your question?
One other thing, Anandamaya Ma.
Does that explain your question?
Almost.
Almost.
Anandamaya Ma, I mean, she was a master. And does it follow that she, maybe in a different language, had those three qualities?
Oh, she gave high states of samadhi also. She gave states of samadhi. Definitely she could give it. Definitely the master Shivbal Yogi gave it. Unknowingly, but they didn't make it known, or they didn't take the trouble to expound to the elite common person. You are, in a general sense, you are the elite echelon. You are special people. You're not the common people under the sea. But in the yogic sense, you are the general rabble of yoga practitioners. You're not a special yogi. But in the sense you are a special being practicing yoga, you're one in a million. That's your speciality. But if you go to the Himalayas and sit with the land of the Hamsas, then you'll have to sit in the corner somewhere in the outskirts. It's all degree of realization. So you are special people with a common denomination. An ordinary yogi, with very special, a special human being, going on the special path. So yes, of course, Anandimai Ma gave it. There's no doubt about it. She was the divine incarnation. Anandimai Ma was the avatar of the millennium, was an avatar of the millennium. And she should not be confused with other saints or women teachers who go by the same name. This is something very important. I just wrote it down to add it in my book as the footnote. And that's what there is no avatar now after she is gone. Is that okay? Yes.
I wonder what the ideal amount of time to practice Kriya Yoga is. Is the more the merrier?
Yes. In the general sense, yes. The more the merrier. But otherwise it depends on your individual balance of your outer work and your inner practice. How much time would you like to give to your apparent self? And how much time would you like to give to your true self?
It's that simple.
How much time does a lady take to pedicure her feet and toenails? I've seen them doing it over 1.5, 2 hours. How much time does she take for a hairdo? And how much time must she give for her meditation? That is her personal equation. She has to make that equation. And we, by giving you satsangs, tend to tip the scales to the other side of the true self, that meditate more, meditate on the soul more, pedicure your soul more than you pedicure your souls. Pedicure your soul more than you pedicure your souls. So this is important. It differs from individual to individual as per how much, but I would definitely stress the point that cut out a lot of nonsensical things and focus your mind like a magnifying glass. As you focus it, it gets a light, point of light, and that burns. So when you focus your mind, it will burn any obstacle or disease or problem which comes in your way. Therefore, concentration is very important, as is absorption. To ease disease of random mind, a remedy suitable we must find. To ease disease of random mind, a remedy suitable we must find. A rhythmic breathing, tension-free, with concentration's sovereign key. To ease disease of random mind, a remedy suitable. So that was one of the questions, how do we get over pain and suffering? To ease disease of, your mind is a randomity. It's running hither and thither. It has no discipline. And that is one thing the people here are lacking in the West, is discipline. They do not lack sincerity. Sincerity is at a very high level. They are very sincere. They will do anything you tell them to do. The people in America are very sincere. From the heart, they will practice anything. They will try out everything, and they will do everything. So they are very sincere. They will try out everything with utmost sincerity and practice nothing. So this is the good and the bad. I mean, even in India they have their points. Very sincere, very practiced, working from the heart, very intense, but quite disorganized. So we need to exchange East and West to put us in a digital straitjacket. And they need to put their minds in a straitjacket by discipline, because of this lack of discipline, people want it all easy, you know. It can't come easy. Because I'm not going to give you any false information. Because, you know, essentially, I mean, what are we to be formal about? We are all the same, you know. At the superfluous level, we have the same old ideas, the same old tensions, the same old boredom. And in the soul, we are the same old happiness and the same old joy of the divine spirit. We are consciousness. But we have every reason to question that all the 100 million lives which you have left in your past, which you have led, and the ocean of your subconscious mind can just dissolve by his putting his hand on your head. This is not done by the Krishna, the Buddha, nor the Christ. Then how does this man do this? Did it miss the great lofty giants like Buddha and Pythagoras and Christ and Apollonius of Tyana, that you just put your hands on the head of a person and he is liberated? Can't be. Because there's so much in the subconscious. You have to work for your salvation. Liberation, salvation is not for the lazy. You have to work. You may fall on the pathway. You may get tired and rest on the pathway. But you have to walk with your own feet. Nobody is going to carry you piggyback. Let me tell you this. Don't suffer under any false notions, nor take false placebos from anyone that he'll touch you and your karma will be dissolved and he'll do this. And there are many Matajis which go to any yoga studios here. Some Mataji claims something, the other one says something, but it's scientific, definite practice. And with practice you will definitely get it. So good hard practice is required for divine grace. Practice is like going out into the sun and breathing. Grace is just sitting over here in the darkness and crying, I can't see the sun. God, will you give me some grace of sunlight? God, but damn it, get up and go out into the sun. God has given you that, the conscience, the intelligence to do that. So if you make the effort, you will get divine grace, not without the effort. Okay?
With this upcoming trip to India, can you just comment on the significance of going on this spiritual journey with a living master like yourself for our own evolution?
Yes. The main thing is not the journey, it is the master you go with. And you be with him, observe him and see how much of the spiritual energy you can avail of, which he is giving to you in these Sylvian surroundings and the beautiful Himalayan settings. God didn't say don't have fun. Of course he said have fun. He said have the right type of fun which evolves you simultaneously. So if you are lucky and the clouds shift, then you'll see the lofty giants of India, 25,000 feet, that's 8,000 meters. 8,000 plus 8,000 meters in height. 8,000 meters. What are your mountains here? 3,000. 4 3s are 12. Yeah, 4,000 meters. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The highest peaks, but your alpine, this thing is 3,000, 2,500. So definitely it's an advantage to go with a master, because that is called a satsang. The master, like a fountain, is always spraying the sattva gun, that is the positive light energy. And this helps the disciple on the spiritual path He is also able to get away from home and dissolve his cares and worries. Like you come here, you have totally forgotten all the work, because some people deliberately leave their work behind and come, because if they have their computer, then they start off here again. So if any of you have your computer, use it as less as possible and meditate as more as possible with chanting.
Could you speak, please, to the role of the love of the disciple for the Guru, as how it constitutes being tuned to you? Because I know that
Love cannot be generated immediately. In my opinion, love is generated within the heart of the person by devoting yourself to the Master, who you are ever grateful to for teaching you the divine science of the self. There is no charity greater than giving to the students divine knowledge of God. By this I don't mean reading the Bible or reading a book. I mean giving true, genuine evolutionary techniques, spiritual techniques which will evolve their consciousness, which will soothe the nerves, calm the mind, and evolve spiritual consciousness. This is the highest type of sacrifice, or highest type of charity which can be given by one human being to another human being. This is what we call true charity focus. If you want to focus, don't focus on false charity. There is a false charity and there's a true charity. The true charity takes you to God. The false charity, I'm saying in relation, it's relative term, of course. The false charity is, of course, even liquid Lakshmi. It's very good for you to go from one place to another, to build hospitals, to build things for the physical body and the apparent self. So the second type of charity is the secondary charity, but the true charity is giving away knowledge and transmission. Shaktipat is true charity. Shaktipat. So those great yogis like Swami Muktanand and Swami Nityanand and Shivbal Yogi, that's about it, I think. Shivbal Yogi and Swami Muktanand. Nityanand nobody's heard of. No, nobody's seen it. They gave true Shaktipat. That is true charity. I'm not saying the other charities anything less or this thing, but compared to the two, we definitely prefer this charity to be the higher of the two, because there's more fanfare made about the dollar and the money being given and the charity and this thing, but not about people who give spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge is way more of a treasure than the green note. Okay, anybody? Yes.
Could you talk to us about when the physical master isn't here and we're learning to tune into the guidance of the inner guru?
You tune into the inner guru when you practice the Kriya Yoga. You say, "Oh Lord, oh God and Guru, breathe through my breath and transform me into thee. I am not breathing. I am not doing this. I am not." You remove your I and you tune in. When you devote yourself to the Kriya practice given by the Guru, a love is generated for the principle of the Guru, which is consciousness. You see him in the star. of the Kutust, spiritual eye in your practice. The Guru meets everyone in the third eye, called the Kutastha Chaitanya. Yeah.
Do you recommend chanting on our own before we do Kriya as a way to open up?
Yes, chanting.
I haven't ever heard you mention that as part of our routine.
Yeah, because people in India are already tuned, fine-tuned. They just sit down and get to the point. They sit down and get to the point. Chanting is there are many ways. Then you can do yoga asanas, then after yoga asanas you can do the surya, then you can do the chanting, then you can get to kriya yoga, but by the time more than half the day will be over. It's directly better to sit or do the surya in the morning, surya yoga, sit for kriya yoga.
So the heart will still open up even without the chanting.
Chanting is good. Okay, those who have to meditate can meditate. Those who want to ask questions can ask. As and when the questions come, you can ask the questions. Can we not, are these lights too? Oh, I see. We should change the lighting system from this to the center. This is good.
Yes, sir. I wondered about the question and the answer that's given to the question being why is there illusion and struggle and distraction from doing one's growth of consciousness? And the answer that's usually given is, oh, well, God wants us to have a challenge. But, or something of that sort, to have a sense of achievement. But that answer sort of makes God be sort of the same mind. It makes God and humans similar, and it's sort of like God thinking like a human. But how do we know that God even thinks like a human? Like maybe God doesn't use reasons, for example. Maybe God doesn't think in terms of why or why not the reasons. So anyway, having said all that, I'm going to ask you, why is there distraction in the world from doing our growth in meditation?
So, firstly, let me make it clear that the divine consciousness has no hand in your spiritual evolution or your spiritual degradation. You are the master of your destiny. It is so nobody can blame God or point a finger at God that He has done this and God has made it a challenge. God's nothing to do with this. It's you who by your past karma have created a difficulty in your mind situation in which you are trapped today. So you must do such deeds which will facilitate your spiritual growth in the future. If you do deeds which will hamper your growth, then you are the cause of your own destruction or you are the cause of your own evolution. The position of God is like the light shining. You see, the light is very smooth here, it almost makes you groggy. It's a very funny light. It's very well lit. The light is in this room. Let's say the light represents God. Now, in this light, you can forge a document with assistance of the light. In the night, if there's no light, you want to forge a signature or a document, you can do that. So if you're caught doing that and the cops come, they arrest you and put you in jail, is the light to blame? Is the light to blame, or is it your own dirty mind? It's the own dirty mind, right? Okay? So also with karma. So in God's light, you can read the Holy Bible and you can also forge a document. But if the light is not there, neither can you read the Bible, nor can you forge the document. So God is there as the passive, non-being essentiality of your whole existence. Because He is there, you are there. Because the ocean is there, the waves are there. If the ocean is not there, the waves will not be there. But the ocean has no hand in what form or shape the waves may take, who are us. We have teachers who can give you the support system and teach you and guide all newcomers. In India also we have a good support system. And of course, principally I am not a teacher, since I do not teach. A master does not teach. He gives the direct experience. You see, the teacher teaches very systematically and in an organized way. The master catches you, he shakes you and he wakes you up. So I'm a waker. Movers and shakers.
Effortlessly, Yogi Raj reveals to the initiated and the uninitiated alike how, at the level of consciousness, all humanity is one. Thus, acting as a catalyst for positive change and towards inner transformation, Hamsa Yoga Sangh helps you witness your innermost self flowering and evolving into a newer being. Let not precious moments slip by. Seek now the ultimate truth. Jiva Hamsa, spread your wings to fly, immortal realms which death defy.